trade back?
No, they should not, Marcellus. I know what he did for them and rehabbing the image of him coming out of Cleveland, but I look at where the Rams are. I can't help but feel Antonio Brown vibes here. Like that they got him at the right time, at the right price, in the right place. And they took advantage of that. But as I look coming back into this season, playing 8 games versus playing an entire season is a lot different. And OBJ, now that he has demonstrated that he can still play, there's the question of, can they pay him what he's worth? They already have Cooper Kupp. They've just loaded up on Allen Robinson. I don't know that they can afford to pay OBJ what he believes that he's worth or that would make him feel good. And then we've got the second ACL. I'm not even sure what OBJ is at this point, but I know what his game is predicated on, which is unbelievable change of direction, stop and start. Is he going to have that same feel? Is he going to be able to have that same explosiveness coming back off of a second ACL? I just think there are chemistry questions here based on you can't give him the money that he wants. Probably not going to have the role that he would want. And I don't know exactly how much he's going to have after he has that second, or having had that second ACL surgery. So for all those reasons, as much as he would be, I'd say he would be a luxury. But the risk reward, I just don't see it at this point with the Rams.
Oh, I see it. I see it clearly. Whew, you got to get him on a show and prove deal, though, obviously, because he's compromised with the second ACL. So we got to see how much air is left in those tires. Certainly he will be compromised to a certain degree. Even people who know OBJ well, we were watching him last year. You can hear the announcers for real say, like, looks a little bigger, looks a little slower. That doesn't mean he's slow, just he was off the charts, off the screen before. Now you're like, okay, you went from being blurry to just fast, and there's a difference if you played the game. I love how Slick said OBG, ODB, like respect, like you just went everywhere with it. Hey, my man, OBJ, let me tell you what's going to happen. He's going to get signed on a show and prove deal. That's a 1-and-1. Basically, all right, you signed for 2 years. It's really a 1-year deal. Let's make sure you get back. If you show us that you're the same guy, then, we rip up the second one, keep you off the market, and we'll re-sign you to some real numbers. Want to know why? 7 touchdowns in 12 games with the Rams last year. He had 7 touchdowns in 29 games with the Browns. 6 touchdowns on 12 red zone targets. 104 passer rating for Matthew Stafford when he targeted ODB. You know they won 9 of their last 10, and guess what? Odell and Kupp combined for 18 touchdowns during that stretch. You got to bring them back just to kick the tires. I don't know how much air is left in them, but let's kick the tires and see if we can bring them back.
Yeah, I would say this. The question is, do the Rams or should the Rams want him back? You're damn right they should want him back.
Burger.
Because I think Odell Beckham Jr. proved something last year. Proved that he's a damn good football player. He got in an environment in which they say with the Rams, like, hey, listen, man, we're going to be in 3 wides. But you guys have to play the role sometimes of a tight end. You guys have to play the role sometimes of a blocker. You guys have to play the role sometimes as the secondary route so we can get the primary open. And Odell Beckham Jr. did all of those things. I'm talking about blocking on bubble screens and just hammering people. I'm talking about doing everything that you ask him to do. And I think he went into a situation with the Rams where he learned a little bit about complementary football, where he learned a little bit about what it means to be a team. And he saw it with Cooper Kupp. He saw it, with the guys that were there previously, and also their wide receiver coach, Eric Yarber, who is my former college teammate, but is one of the great coaches in this league that demands of these guys that work and that work ethic and that understanding of the game in totality. So I think there's an appeal there. Now, can you get the numbers right? I don't know. But that was as good a football as Odell Beckham Jr. has played. I don't know that it was his most dynamic playmaking, but it was as good a football. And there's something to that. You want to win another world championship, you want to have a chance to go, especially, the way that the NFC is constructed right now, the best place to do that is with the Rams. So where are you at?
Yeah, no,
Where you at?
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. The question is, can you get the numbers right? And Odell came in and I'm not going to mess with OBJ anymore. I'm just going to go Odell. Odell came in having to rehab his image, right? I mean, we came out of Cleveland wondering, is it him or is it Baker? And he demonstrated that it was Baker and did all the little things. My question is, now that you've demonstrated that, are you going to be willing to continue to do that? Are you going to be willing to do that on a make-good contract? And are you going to be willing to do that in a structure or an offense where you're not necessarily a featured guy? And are you willing to do that the entire season, the entire stretch, not knowing if you're ever actually going to get paid for the Rams? Because you guys both know this. Rams take full advantage of Odell giving them another season like he did last year. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get paid after the fact. It's a matter of what you can do right now. That's where I don't know if Odell has the mindset that I'm willing to make all those sacrifices, as opposed to what happened with Tampa Bay and Antonio Brown, where they brought him back. They won a Super Bowl. They brought him back. And then the role wasn't what he thought it should be, and the money wasn't right, and there was all kinds of issues. And if you guys are going to tell me that that Antonio Brown saga wasn't part of what kicked Tampa Bay sideways, then okay, go ahead, roll the dice with Odell. But if you think that that was some sort of element that undermined their season, then I think that the Rams, for all of the talent that Odell demonstrated and how valuable he was, you got to think twice about, do we want to go down that road? What the potential ramifications are if we do.
You know, Odell is not anything like Antonio Brown. Like, business is booming. Antonio Brown rapping right now, Kanye bestie. Like, that ain't Odell. Odell ain't taking his shirt off, getting naked on the field. Like, he got purple hair, but he ain't that far removed from being a normal teammate, as we saw last year. And I think the relationship that he had with Cooper Kupp.
Not that far removed?
No. I mean, he's a superstar.
So he's kind of removed.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean, he's in that.
He is. You know why? And it's not even his own doing half the time. Like, no, I know Odell. You can't go out with the dude. The dude is like a superstar. They grab at him, and he's like, well, I got to respond. Now, he's had his antics in the past, whatever you think about it. Hitting a goalpost, that's not Antonio Brown. Having pizza and flour, whatever. I don't know what else Odell has done to make me say, whoa, Odell. But I tell you one thing I know. You better stay where Matthew Stafford is and stay where Cooper Kupp is. Let me tell you why. Too Short had a song, Get It While the Getting is Good. I say get it where the getting is good. And where is that? L.A. with the Rams. Cooper Kupp had 974 yards the year before Matthew Stafford got here and 3 touchdowns. He went out there and had the most prolific year ever for a receiver. 1,900-plus yards and 16 touchdowns. We saw the difference between Baker Mayfield and Matthew Stafford. When I'm compromised, 2 ACL injuries, I'm not going anywhere. I'll play for the Lolo. You know he played for crypto, NFTs last year. I'd do it again just to bet on myself.